What's good? What's good? What's good, fans? How you doing out there? All you puppy owners in the world, we thank you guys for tuning in. Mr. Cleveland, how's the new puppy in the house over there?
Man, she's doing all right, getting acclimated, doing the best we can.
Man, that sure don't sound like a a rave report. Like, don't seem like you're an excited puppy dad right now.
No, Coco's,
Is something you want to get off your chest?
she's an angel. She's a sweetheart. She's a princess, but she has her moments for sure.
Man, I don't want I don't want you to go through any episodes now of Michael Vick tendency. Now you want to vent and like, get some stuff off your
Oh
chest, man.
man, come on! Wow, how you go from 0 to 100 real quick, huh?
Real quick,
Wow.
man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fan podcast. Come on, man, Mr. Cleveland, with me today in the Northwest. How's the weather up there?
Cloudy and rainy, 50
Uh, per,
degrees.
per usual, huh? Well, it's 66 out here. 60.
That's
Got a little
cool.
brisk. You see, I put a little sweatshirt on. Got a little
Yeah, I
brisk today,
see.
so
I
got
see.
to put a little sweatshirt.
I
Got to
see.
almost
Not
zipped up.
not busting out in the wife beater like normal. I see.
Um, man, this week I hope you enjoyed your Easter weekend with the puppy with the wifey. There was a lot of NBA this week, man. NBA is the topic du jour, if you will. Um, NFL, obviously, Deebo. We're gonna get into Deebo says he went out. Is that a matter of him not getting paid? Like he tried to lay down the law, said I want to get paid before Friday, and they didn't bring the money. And now he said he wants to bounce. Um, is that what's the real issue there? We Luca did not show up in Dallas game one, but then they had a Bronson signing in game two. We're gonna get into that as well. Um, in the NFL draft around the corner. We got this week in history for you fans. So stick with us. We always got a good show for you guys, a lot of different content for you guys. But as we get started first, Cleveland, each and every week we do our numbers game. And I'm just noticing something. Modify a modified spreadsheet this week. Our numbers game, Cleveland. Each and every week we do our numbers game, and with it being April 20th, happy 420 day to you, sir. And the week 187, the number 20. Who wore that number best, or when it comes to your mind, who comes to your mind first?
I'm sorry, the number 40,
The number 20.
number 20. The person that comes to mind first is Gary Payton, and probably the person that wore the number best is Gary Payton. Psych. Just wanted to pick out all you Barry Sanders fans. Barry wore the best.
I mean, Barry known for the juke moves. He not gonna get juked. I don't think. But I can't argue that. I mean, I can throw Ed Reed in there as who wore the best. Frank Robinson maybe, but it's hard to refute Gary Payton. Coming to mind first what he did with those brought those Seattle Supersonics to prominence there in the '90s, and Gary Payton. I mean, excuse me, Barry Sanders, the best running back to ever do it. So it's hard to refute what you just gave me there. Number 87, week 187. We go 100. Week 187. We go 87. Dwight Clark would be the first guy to come to my mind. Who will come to your mind at the number 87?
Dwight comes to mind first and foremost. Yeah. Started my sports book odyssey back in '82. The great catch. But who
Oh, that
wore
was
the best is probably, you know, the party animal, the Gronkster.
good call. Good call, the Gronkster. Yeah, that's a good call there. Come on, man. Like I say, NBA topics is the topics du jour here. Before we actually get kind of to the actual playoffs, let's talk about the what happened leading up into the playing game.
Hmm. Can
PG.
we? Is it cool to talk about that?
I mean, I got some questions, man. I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
There was no post game conversation. I
I
wasn't
got some
privy.
answers, so go ahead.
Ty Lue didn't call. They didn't call me into the postseason breakdown. I
Okay.
wasn't with the post. What they have the post game postseason wrap up. But my goodness, he the Clippers have 2 games to win to win 1 game to get into the playoffs. At worst, they're the number 8 seed. They go to Minnesota and lose. And we talked about how uh, Anthony was going crazy out there. Anthony Edwards was going crazy out there in Minnesota and couldn't wait for that opportunity. You know, they were all excited. You saw Pat Beverly shed tears after the game after they beat the Clippers. That's what the Cleveland. That's what where the Clippers have come is where when teams beat them, the Clippers their outpouring of emotion isn't what you might expect. You saw real tears coming out down Patrick Beverly's eyes, the main menace of the defense for in the NBA for several years now. So you saw him shedding tears after he beats the Clippers. So that tells you where the Clippers are, where the Clippers are, and what that means to them. Nonetheless, the Clippers end up losing that game in Minnesota. You know, I don't know what the weather was like in Minnesota, but in the late March in Minnesota, I wouldn't think it'd be the best. So maybe Paul George rubbed some hands with one of the TSA assistants. So somebody grabbed his bag who had some sniffles. He grabs his bag. Now he got the sniffles on his way home. He noticed he lands in LAX or not even LAX because they go to the private airport. You know, Paul George catches some sniffles. He wakes up, you know, the next day, you know, he got a little scratchy throat. And what would prompt Paul George the morning before the game to call the team doctors and say, I need to be tested?
Wasn't feeling good. Was feeling the symptoms that he had always heard were associated with COVID. He was being responsible and doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. His team,
Was he supposed to go out there on the court knowing that he may have COVID?
His team is playing for a chance.
No.
To advance in the NBA playoffs.
Extremely selfish on your part. Even Steve Ballmer wouldn't be that selfish.
What are you talking about?
Dude had COVID and it was not sure if he did or did not have COVID. So we asked him to give him a test, and you got COVID. Was he supposed to go into the team doctors and be like, "Hey, man, if I got it, just don't tell me, man."
He wasn't even supposed to talk to him. Take some Theraflu, drink some hot tea.
If that was a remedy for
some fish,
Cam, if that was a remedy for COVID,
you don't
by
even
all means.
The doctor. Why are you? That's my major question. Why are you talking to the team doctors?
Because he felt he had COVID-like symptoms and wanted to make sure he didn't have COVID before going out on a basketball court and infecting 23 other people potentially.
Potentially, keyword potentially. Cleveland, you don't know this. You don't not play your playoff game. You don't call the doctors to get tested before your playoff game.
You do not play your playoff game if you have COVID, or if you're not clear if you have COVID or not. You certainly do not play in that game.
Oh my goodness! So that starts the playoff on a bad move for me. I was out there in Texas last week, and I help me out, Cleveland. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not telling you that I'm not feeling ill. I'm going out there playing tonight for my chance to win and extend to the NBA playoffs.
You certainly are not if you have COVID and can infect that many other people with COVID. That's why he went to the doctors and asked. He could have been irresponsible and not asked and just went out there and said, man, whatever, we need to win this game. And if everybody gets COVID, oh, well, so be it.
How's that being irresponsible?
But he's not the Grim Reaper like that. And he decided to be responsible and get a test. I'm sorry it didn't work out on your behalf.
This is the most glowing
later. Maybe that's why you're so bitter and like not really seeing this whole thing clearly. Is because of the ramifications it had for you personally. Paul George getting COVID. You want to talk about that for a hot sec?
No. The ramifications.
No, you don't want to talk about No, I don't want to talk about that. That would affect me personally. No, I don't want to talk about
No, you're making now you're making stuff up. How the ramifications of me personally, it doesn't impact me personally. It has it does. I guess it has a couple impacts to me. There's no more soft serve ice cream at crypto.com burrito. Okay, okay,
okay.
for
So
the
you forgot
for
all
the
about
summer.
that elbow?
Huh?
Forgot all about that elbow? Fancy, forgot all about the elbow just that quick.
What are you talking about?
The pound of ribs. The pound of ribs that came from the Clippers not making the playoffs. Do you recall it? The last show, us going
No,
round
hold
and
on,
round about that. And then
hold
when
on,
I said,
hold on.
"Hey man, I hope Paul
Time
George shows up," kind of
time
being
out.
tongue in cheek, I thought it was going to be an injury or just not playing well. As it turns out, he had COVID-19.
See that shit because he wasn't in the game. That bet should be called off
Oh,
because Paul
really?
George didn't
Do you know
play.
how many people have gone to Vegas and said that exact same thing, Cam? Because so and so couldn't play, you should just give me my money back. I don't see why you're taking my money from me. So and so didn't play. You know how many millions and billions of times they would have heard that if that was really the case, man? That's why
The guy
young
had
Sam
COVID.
Rossing is. That's why young Sam Rossing is who he is, fam. He doesn't
Oh,
just
is
jump
that
into
why?
things. You know
Because
what I'm saying? He
my man came
understands
down
that there
because
that
my man came down
it's
with
it
COVID.
might be a little bit premature to just get out on a limb like that.
Because my
But then you
man
get
came
out
down
there,
with
you
COVID.
fall off, and then you want to blame COVID protocol and someone being responsible, doing the humane right thing for why you're in this situation. It's not fair to Paul. It's not fair to PG-13.
Oh, now he's PG-13. All this. All right, man. That's the one thing on a serious note, man. I just want one. I don't know why you would call the doctors to say, "Hey, test me for this thing that might keep me out of the game, out of the playoff game." I couldn't have made that call. Plain and
I
simple.
know you would have went
If
out
there was
there.
something,
You would have
if
went
there
out
was,
there with a bubonic plague and had the whole stadium all over. So long as you got your 2-point victory, I understand. That's your mentality. You made it perfectly clear.
the boob, if I could out there and played and was healthy enough to play,
I know if you had the bubonic plague, but you could still play
if I could still,
effectively, then that's all that matters, right? Not
I'm
all these
not.
people getting
I'm
COVID and
not pulling myself out of the
then going
game
home to
before
their
playoff.
family, not knowing they have COVID. And
I'm
in
not
fact,
pulling.
you don't
I'm
see
not pulling myself out of the game before the playoff game. That's what it is.
he
Essentially,
did
a
it.
playoff game.
He
I'm
did
not
not pull
pulling
himself
myself
out
out.
of the game before the playoff game. He said, "Ooh, I don't feel good. Can you
I'm not
make sure I
pulling.
don't have COVID?" That's all he did. He
I'm
didn't. He
not
didn't go
pulling
like,
myself.
"Man, I feel like I might have COVID." And man, I ain't gonna tell nobody though.
I mean,
What is that?
I'm not pulling
No,
myself
no,
out that game.
that's what you wanted him to do. You wanted him to have COVID-like symptoms and then not
Nigga,
tell anybody, just
I
in
wanted to
case
take some
somebody said, "Oh
Theraflu
yeah,
before
you
the
got
game and come out
COVID.
and
They
play.
can't
That's
play."
what I want. Come on and play. That's
I
what I want.
know, I know, I know.
So talk about some teams that are playing. How about the Warriors? They're not giving your boy Luca or excuse me, Jokic a chance. How about your Warriors? Jordan Poole is this now? This is emergence, right? He had a great season. Now we would say this is the emergence of Jordan Poole. Would you agree there?
Looks spectacular in the first round, for sure.
Oh wow! You know what? You trying to minimize his production?
I don't think it's sustainable to you.
I mean, he's done it all season. You said that
He's
going
throwing
into
30 points a game all season.
he's been that third or fourth wheel on their team all
Man, cut
season
that out, man.
and
You
pulling
ain't
the
even been
shot when they
watching.
need it.
You ain't been watching these guys. You've been on the Clipper bandwagon. Come on, you ain't been watching these guys. He's not been putting up these kind of numbers all year.
Jordan Poole has been balling this season. So to say that he hasn't been productive all season is you haven't been watching these guys because
Okay.
Jordan Poole
I didn't say productive. I said 30 points a
obviously
game.
he
I
hasn't
didn't say
averaged
productive. I said 30 points a game.
he
That's
hasn't
not
averaged 30
sustainable.
he hasn't averaged 30 points a game, but he's been productive all the season long. So is him averaging 30 in the playoffs sustainable? Probably not. But can he average a cool 21, 22, 23? Possibly because he's been that consistent all season long.
Mm-hmm. Okay, second round's
I
coming.
mean,
We'll see.
Jordan Poole's averaged 18 points a game, bro. So with a couple more shots, I mean, you can't be mad at him, right?
The second round will be here before you know it.
The second round, and so you got them having a second round exit.
I didn't say that. I said his productivity will not be as
No
high.
drop. So well, they might play they might end up playing the winners of the Mavericks versus the Jazz in the second round. And so I don't know that either one you have a stopper on either one of those guys who's going to really slow the game down because both of those teams are going to try to um, get their points up. The Mavericks defense has improved. The Jazz is with Rudy Gobert, they're always a force defensively, but both of those teams are going to try to get some shots up, as with the Warriors. I think that mentality when you see Steph and Clay on the other side, you're going to try to get some more shots up. And who's going to now? You got add Jordan Poole, and you got Wiggins, and your boy the center. What's your boy Draymond Green? Now that becomes a real formidable team. That can the Mavericks or the Jazz hang with the squad?
I mean, ironically, I don't know if you recall, Cam, I have them in the championship, so I don't think so.
So what you think is we talked about Anthony Edwards and their confidence, and that rolled right into the playoffs, and they beat up on the Grizzlies game one. But then, did we see the true Grizzlies in game one or the true Grizzlies in game two?
It's in the middle. I mean, if they play like they did in game one, they're a problem. Game two is probably a little bit more what you had expected in game one, but that's not what happened. Game one, they were able to kind of bring it all together. Game two, not so much. You got out there with the split like you wanted. You go back home, you win 2 games, and this is.
Oh, so you're still with advantage Minnesota going in this series?
Yeah.
Are you calling an upset?
I'm not calling an upset.
Whoa, hold on, wait. Do we have to break the news right here? There is Cleveland.
I'm not calling. Look. I will be perfectly honest with you, fans. I did not know a whole lot about Anthony Edwards before the last 3 games. Now, when you see that dude, you realize he is the biggest problem the NBA has on the horizon. He's what Zion Williamson was supposed to be. He is not a dude to be played with, man. He's one of those cats like, how you play fight with your cousin and you just thump him in his face and flip your finger. And then 6 months later, you're like, we're just playing. He's like, I know. It's like you realize you're not playing, but he's just playing. That dude is big and strong, man. Much bigger and stronger than you think. And if he keeps hitting that 3, yeah, man, it's going to be a problem. He's been maturating up there in Minnesota, kind of in anonymity. No one's really been paying attention to him. I mean, how many Anthony Edwards games have you watched?
Not a lot. I've seen him in town. I've seen him.
See, now here you go.
No, I've seen him in town. Wondering, they spanked the Clippers so a couple times.
Okay, well, he came in there and dropped 38 on them dudes, like real easy.
Yeah.
Second one, not quite so easy, but now he's going back home.
Okay, so with all that you're saying, Cleveland, you're picking the Wolves to win in how many games? 5 or 6? Or 6 or 7? Cleveland picking Wolves in how many games? 6 games?
I didn't say that.
That's essentially what I'm hearing. You're talking about Poole. Poole isn't sustainable. And we just break it down, fans, and listen to it from what we've heard from this guy.
I don't know.
Poole isn't sustainable.
That's exactly what
Poole isn't sustainable.
We said this. We said this at the beginning. We said this last week, right? This would be the most entertaining series of the playoffs because we have absolutely no idea what is going to happen. I am not predicting anything, my dude. There are skilled players on both sides that can do amazing things.
So six is that
So
6 or 7 games? Is that 7 games? Picking the Wolves.
I think the series will probably go 7 games, man. Who wins it? I don't know.
So okay, so you're saying
Neither one of
I
those
just want to
teams are
hope you. I just
particularly
want to hope you.
mature. Neither
I
one of
just want
those
to hope you
teams have
finish.
any experience. They just have athletic dudes that can do amazing things for their size and skill set.
So Grizzly Wolves will go 7 games. Says
I think
Cleveland.
so.
Okay, all right. I just want to, I see you was all emphatic there about, you got to say all that glowing stuff you're talking about. Edwards, is he going to be the next LeBron James? You got to have put some weight behind what you're talking about. You can't just be
I didn't say he was going to be the next
trust.
LeBron James.
I mean,
I said he is what you wanted Zion to be.
yeah,
If you had to start right now, seeing what you've seen from Zion and seeing what you've seen from Anthony Edwards, who would you take with the pick?
I feel you. I feel you 100%. So that's cool. We got that on. I got that note. I got that noted. We got a new format here where I can easily note these absurd statements that Cleveland was making. So I got that noted. Now we have a 2-point game in Boston. It's a going, but before we get to the series, so that's coming down 2-point game with about 6.5 to go, where Tatum kicks out to, when they kick it out. Now we got Pritchard trying to go to the hole. Oh, it's a turnover. But it's a 2-point game. It's a 2-point game with the shot clock running down in Boston, 96-94, Boston over Brooklyn. A series that wasn't supposed to be a series now is the Pelicans over the Suns. What do you see now from the Pelicans and how this game transpires? They just hit a three. Oh my goodness. Where, excuse me, fans. Kyrie just passes to KD on the block. KD's where the Brown turns and shoots the jumper. Ooh, rims out. He just missed it. Boston gets a rebound. Big shot. Now again, 5-point game, 5.5 minutes to go in Boston. Tatum will open on the corner for a large three. Pass it to the Brazilian who just gets sent to the top of the key on a foul. But yeah, this back to the question though, Cleveland. The series was supposed to be a series, and now that's a series because there's an injury involved in it to Booker, who you already didn't believe in. The Pelicans versus the Suns. What do you see in this one? Is there life in New Orleans?
Makes it interesting to get the split, but no, it will still be the Phoenix Suns.
No chance, even if it's a Chris Paul by himself, because we've seen just through after game one, Chris Paul killed him. Game two, Chris Paul. It wasn't
no, because potentially you already know how I feel about Chris Paul, right? He's right up there with Anthony Davis. He hasn't had his moment where he's fallen down just yet. So, so no, it would be.
He's right up there. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a champion, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But I'm talking about the fragility of their bones and their muscle structure and their ligaments. Chris Paul's going to get hurt. It's hopefully not this series. It'll be next series, hopefully, for these guys. And campaign can always fill in for Chris Paul. It's just a matter of what Aiton's going to do and can they get past the man. You got to get past the Pelicans. However, you got to do it, man. If it's D-Book missing 2 games and you got to get him in 6 instead of 4 or 5, then.
But that's the question. That's the question, though. Can they get past the Pelicans without D-Book? If he's out for a hamstring, he can. Okay, all right. Sure. I'm just listening to you. All right, bro. So now, before we go back to the game, we got the Celtics and the Nets. The Celtics won that game just with a Tatum slash to the hole, right? Did you watch the game? Did you see how it ended? What's your thoughts on this?
I know I saw how it ended. That was heroic from them guys. Great effort, man. They started out just Brow beating the hell out of the Nets. The Nets turned on, just couldn't hold off.
And so now you see what you see out of the Nets, and now they're down with 5 minutes to go. They can't go down 2-0 to Boston, can they? Can they beat Boston? Come back and beat Boston for the next 5 games?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, come on. Obviously, the numbers say they can, but will they beat Boston for the next 5 games?
Well, this game isn't over, and I mean, Boston does not have enough firepower to win that game 5. It will all hinge on the game 5, right?
So just come out right. Cleveland says Boston can win. Will win 4 of the next 5 games.
Brooklyn, if they lose this game, which they have not lost
that's
yet.
What I meant. Hey, settle down, son.
Okay, well, you're saying stuff to the World Wide Web like it's just not gonna.
I'm just trying to keep up with this lunacy.
Okay,
you're saying.
I'm just saying, say it right.
Jeez,
say it
this
right.
lunacy. Brooklyn, you say Brooklyn's gonna come back, and will win 4 of the next 5 games. Okay,
I didn't say that. I said if they
you
lost
did say that.
this
You
game. I
No.
You
did say that.
You have already had them losing this game, which means that they would have to win 4 of the next 5 to win the series.
Right.
Okay. And I'm not sure they're going to lose this game, but if they do, yes, I still have them winning the series.
Bro, it's a 5-point game, 5 minutes to go in the game.
Okay. 5 minutes to go with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the other side.
Brown just jumped. Oh, here comes your boy. Here comes Killer Kyrie.
And Seth Curry's over there too, as I recall, right?
Here goes Kobe Kyrie. Kobe Kyrie to the hoop, and he bricks. And he bricks. Boston come. It's a 5-point game, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, see.
We had your. I mean, did your boy Ice Trey? Did he come to compete in these playoffs? Did he come to play or what?
He's doing the best he can. You realize that Clint Capella's not on the court, right?
Oh! Now everything hinges around Clint Capella.
Well, I mean, you can throw up 40 all you like, but I mean, if you're not getting the 17 and 17 from the other guy, it's not going to be enough. They are playing the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, man.
Oh, so they're just outmanned. When you play a machine like Spoelstra has built over there, there's only so much they can do, right? That's what you're gonna get me now.
It's not really a machine, or if you want to call it a machine, it's certainly got defects in it that can be exposed. But
I mean, but
Ice Trey going in there by himself. I mean, he can burn the place down for a minute, but
Yeah, well, it's not.
And
that's
again,
not sustainable. Keyword of the show. That's not sustainable.
And again, Cam, it's 0-2 going back to the ATL.
Well, I mean, you're not worried.
Lou Chicken Wing Williams might be ready. Lou Chicken Wing Williams might be ready. Might be ready by game 3.
You're not saying that there's the distraction from ATL.
Lou Chicken Wing Williams might be ready by game 3.
Well, okay. Now he's calling out Lou Chicken. Now he's calling out Lou Williams.
Lou Chicken Wing Williams might be ready by game 3. That makes a difference.
Just might. Okay, you sounded like they go to Atlanta from Miami. Like there's going to be there's not a drop off in the nightlife there. I mean that's what you said. Like
I'm just saying, Luda's going to be out. Big Boy and Andre 3000 going to be out.
I think it's a little different. It's a little
be out.
It's a little
John's
different.
going to be out. It's going to get crunk up in there.
Oh boy, it's a little different than when they calling you from South Beach on the yacht. Right when DJ Khaled is calling you from that spot, right? It's a little different.
I'm not talking about what's a better environment to.
It's a little different
with which to party and hang out. I'm talking about you got to come back to ATL and get a game. If you don't get one, then you go back to Miami 2-2.
All right, so now we got the Bulls and the Bucks. I mean, this is per usual as expected. Right? The Bucks is gonna wash this guy. The Bucks is gonna wash it. And what about the 76ers and the Raptors? This is another interesting game where I'm a little conflated in this game.
Are you
conflicted in this
conflicted,
game.
Cam?
I'm very much conflicted.
Oh,
Where the Sixers,
another elbow. Another
the
elbow.
Sixers have
Another pound of ribs, fans.
wait. What are you talking about? Another pound of ribs? What?
Oh, fans, don't let Cam back pedal like this. Oh, I really think I picked the Sixers at first, but I really think that Toronto Raptors could do something, man. I think they're gonna upset them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Toronto Raptors. Now 0-2, you don't feel so good. Yeah, it's horrible.
The Raptors are up right now, but they're up right now. They're gonna get a game out of here. But hey, Harden came to play. We see playoff James this season. That's what we get. We got playoff James against Toronto's long, man. I don't care what you say. Toronto's long. Embiid has something for him because what happened with the Kawhi was there a couple of years ago. That's still burned in their soul. So Kawhi got some. Excuse me. Embiid has something he's playing for. He's fighting for right now. So that makes that a good series. But we'll see if the Raptors come back. I mean, I was a little conflicted because I've had the Raptors upsetting them, but.
Yeah.
If the Sixers win, they show me that they're still alive. My NBA championship is still alive. That's what.
Yeah, but you can lose a little bit of skin on the way. Is all it is. To lose a little bit of skin on the way. That's all. Little white patch right here. It'll heal right back. It'll blend in. Put some of that ointment on it, man. It'll all look the same color in like 3 weeks.
So who's you already talked about Anthony Edwards. You weren't familiar with him. Do we talk enough about Luka-less Mavericks, man? Do we? I was at the game.
We talked plenty about that, man. Come on, man.
I was at the game on Saturday, Mavericks versus the Jazz. It was. I mean, it was the first playoff game. It's still everybody's getting the first playoff game of the whole season. Early morning game, everybody's still getting razzed up. So I don't know that the excitement was fully in the building. But it's the Mavericks. The Mavericks have a good team, even though Luka isn't there, and Luka is just add so much to that squad. And hopefully they get back soon. But you see now the stock of Brunson went up when he had his by evening out the game with the game winner he had or the game he had the other night. So Brunson's stock rises. I think you see Powell, you see the advantage of what Max Kleber can do, and the Jazz, we just see another example of how the Jazz, unfortunately, just don't mesh and just don't fit. We thought Mike Conley was going to be the difference maker there. It turned out he wasn't the guy. And either Donovan should be the point guard or they need to move on for Donovan and Rudy. What do you think?
I thought you said it very eloquently, Cam. They have a lot of good pieces. They just don't fit very well. And I don't know if you watched either one of those games, but I mean, Gobert is he's kind of he's such a quiet dude that it's like you don't really understand how much difference he's making in the game. He can score like no points and like dominate the game.
Well, he can dominate.
And Donovan is supposed to be able to get off with that type of defensive presence. Conley's supposed to be able to do his thing, and they don't.
Yeah. I want to say that is the coaching with Quinn Snyder because they seem to be at least a fundamental team. I don't know what they is. Are they missing more explosion? Are they missing
they're missing more explosion? They're missing a number 2 guy, and then are they missing number 1 or number 2 guy? Is Donovan number 1 guy?
That's been the question. No. That's been the question. That's what we see.
I say no.
I mean, okay,
I didn't like the way he handled Shaq when he asked him, "Is he ready to take that next step?" He got all offended and went to Twitter like complaining and crying. Like, oh man, clearly you're not a number 1 man.
So they have to make a decision. When you make a decision in Utah at the end of the season, we don't expect Utah to make the championship. Let's just start right there. Right? No. We don't expect them to make the championship.
They will not make the championship.
So therefore. It is now a 7-point game with 3 minutes to go in Boston. Boston Tatum coming up court just crosses mid-court line, driving for his. He kicks out to Horford for three. No, well, Horford kicks it back. We have Tatum pump faking at the elbow. Now at the elbow, releases a floater and it shakes it, rattles in. 105-96, 2 minutes, 47 seconds to go. With Boston coming up coming up court. The series is 1-0 Boston. Here comes Killer Kyrie, kicks it up. Yeah, we got a foul. Got a foul. They got a foul. Stop with the play. But back to what we're saying, we don't we don't expect the Jazz to win the NBA Finals. Therefore, some adjustments are going to have to be made, right, to this team.
I mean, we'll see. They'll have to reevaluate what direction they want to go. This is clearly not a championship caliber squad.
Exactly. So adjustments have to be made. The best two players on the team.
But Cam, you're missing the big point here, right?
No. Listen. Follow me. The best, the most tradable talent on that squad is A, Donovan Mitchell, or B, Rudy Gobert. So which direction do you go? Do you put your stock in Donovan Mitchell, or do you put your stock in Rudy Gobert, or do you blow it up and say, hey, let's go get two more guys? What's your thought process on that? Even if I agree with you that he's a number two, not a number one.
If you're going to make a trade, you trade Donovan Mitchell. You don't trade Rudy Gobert. You already know what you have with him.
You hang on to Rudy Gobert. So his inability to score down low doesn't bother you at all.
It bothers me somewhat. I mean, you would like for him to be able to score a little bit more than he's.
And it's another 3-pointer by Jason Tatum.
I just said he dominated a game where he didn't score any points or didn't make any field goals. So if you have the ability to do that.
In the fourth quarter, Cleveland, sorry to cut you off. In the fourth quarter, the Brooklyn Nets have scored 6 points in this game. The Boston Celtics have scored 23 points in this game. Tatum just hit another 3-pointer to push their lead up to 108-96 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. And it all appears that Brooklyn's going to lose their second game in the playoff, and Boston is going to go 2-0, meaning Cleveland saying that Brooklyn will win 4 to 5 games. We got this locked in, fans. We got this locked in before the situation happens, and we're going to hold them to it. So I don't know if that's going to be Elbow, if that's going to be Daniels. I don't know what that's going to be, but we got them locked in, fans. And there's Tatum with the jumper as he exalts himself to the crowd. Sorry to cut you off, Mr. Cleveland. There you go. Just wanted to give the fans an update on this one here. He's not liking that at all. So
no, that's fine. I mean, they got their 2 games at home. They have to go to Brooklyn now for 2. I'm pretty sure they're not going to come back up 3-1.
Oh, you weren't as confident as the next 4 to 5 games. Right.
That's the same. Isn't that the same thing? I just said they're not going to come back.
It's close to the same thing. But I said that confidence level wasn't there. But it's okay. It's okay, Cleveland. Right now, we're going to take a quick little break, Cleveland, before we come back and try to catch it. They just kicked out for another 3. Ooh, and they missed this one. Brooklyn on the wow. Jason Brown just ran over Kevin Durant as he's way back up court. But let's take a little quick break, Mr. Cleveland.
Cool, and when we come back, you can tell me if Kawhi Leonard's going to play in 2022, 2023. Right back.
Oh, you think you're funny, huh, big guy?
Sorry, back in there. Talked to Ty
point-
Lee while I was gone.
10-point game in Boston. 10-point game. That was a wrap. That was a wrap right there. No, I couldn't get Ty Lue on the phone, man. I told you they're vacation, man.
Okay.
They're not answering my calls, man.
So hopefully Kawhi plays in 2022, 2023.
I mean, that would be the plan. That would have been plenty of.
And that's ideal.
Yeah, that'd been plenty enough healing time, if you will.
I mean,
right?
we'll see. I thought you had some insider information, like a confirmation, to be quite honest with you, but clearly you don't have one either. So okay.
No, I don't actually. With Kawhi, that Kawhi ain't talking to nobody, so no. To be dead or
Love
hurt
my
from,
superstars like that. Love them like that.
Oh, is that how you like him? Is that how you like him?
Yeah, introverted and obtuse and vague. Yeah, that's how I want him to be.
So, man, let's talk about the NFL, man. Right now, the NFL, we got some movement, still action. I mean, you guys ain't pulling the trigger yet on Baker Mayfield. Why are you making this? Is you clearly this is Seahawks, typical Seahawks personnel, their way, huh? Their culture over there. Just leave players just dangling in the air. Why don't you go ahead and pick up Baker, man? You know you need
Why? How are we leaving him dangling in the air? Do we make some type of commitment or promise to Baker Mayfield?
No, but
Pick
he's the
him
best
up after he
quarterback.
got jilted for Deshaun Watson. I don't think the organization ever said anything of the sort.
Well, he's the best quarterback on the market. Are you planning on going to the season?
Well, I mean, why hasn't anyone else picked him up then?
Are you planning on going to the season?
Why haven't the Carolina Panthers picked him up?
Because
Why haven't the Detroit Lions picked him up? There's plenty of teams
planning on going to the season with Drew Lock? Answer that question for me.
We're not certain. We don't know what the plan is just yet. Possibly.
Are you drafting Jackson at number 9 in the draft?
No.
You said you wanted a quarterback. Stingley's going to be there. Are you interested in Stingley at number 9?
I'm more interested in Sauce if none of the offensive linemen are available.
Oh, you want to draft an offensive lineman in the top 10?
Yes.
What? You think Carroll is going to draft a top 10 offensive lineman in the top 10? What you got on that not happening? You got something on that?
I have nothing on anything the Seahawks do. Fans.
Okay, I thought you were talking serious because I got.
Yeah,
come on,
fans that have been around for a while know how I feel about Seahawk drafts. Yeah.
So trade back, just trade them all in, huh?
It's totally unpredictable. I hope they take the best player available at number 9, and it should be a dominant offensive lineman at 9. If not, you got Sauce to fall back on. If you want to trade the pick, you had better get Derek Stingley Jr. if you don't get Sauce.
So next week we're gonna have to come off with our sleeper to the draft, our sleepers of the draft, and kind of how you want your Seahawks to be drafted, or and then your steal of the draft, sleeper and steal of the draft. We expect to have that from next week, Mr. Young Sam. Is that doable, sir?
Absolutely.
What do you do with Deebo Samuel? If you're the Niners, do you acquiesce to give him a trade? I mean, you didn't sign him. You're trying to play the game where let it sit and let's sit as long as we can before we have to sign him. And he's not buying it. What do you do with Deebo Samuel?
You play the game. You play the game. You bleed him out.
It
That's
doesn't.
what they do. That's what they do with everyone that's in this situation. He doesn't have any leverage. He's going into the end of his rookie deal. They can always just franchise him next year. So you just bleed him out and
Unhappy.
see just what his will is really all about.
Okay, does he send? Does he in this situation for you, Cleveland? Will he need to miss training camp, preseason games, or an actual football game before you took him seriously? GM Young Sam.
6 games before I take him serious.
6 games. So you plan on going a season without your best player on the team?
Yeah.
So anybody else on your team? You're sending the message to anybody on your team? Our door is closed. Don't come negotiate. No negotiations on our door.
No, no,
What do you mean no? If you don't
no.
do it for your best player, who would you do it for? If you're not doing
Cam,
it for your best player,
Cam,
who would you
Cam.
do it for?
They're playing football games out here, right? They know this dude does not have enough, you know, vested interest to hold out that long. 3 or 4 months of not getting any money, man, from your main source of revenue. Oh, yeah.
You, so you
You'll
don't think
think
he
about
has?
it differently, and your agent will tell you whatever, and then you'll see your team go 0-2 and start looking at you and calling you and texting you like, what's going on here, man?
And so you just saying the pressure, the peer pressure, the
The
pressure
peer pressure plus
of,
his skill
of
set is not like blow you out, right? It's not like take the top off, right? It's not like run these immaculate routes. It's just being like super duper physical. And when's the last time Deebo played a full season, man? He didn't play a full season
whoa.
last season. When he played, he was immaculate, but he didn't
So
play a
you're
full
saying,
season.
so you're saying he's not worth the headache? Is that what I'm hearing?
I didn't say that. No. What I said was
That's what I heard. I mean, that's what I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
here's what I'm saying. Let me correct you, okay?
yeah, yeah, because I heard something
The
else.
wide receiver market has gone off the rails,
Yes,
right?
understood.
And Deebo Samuel fancies himself as being in the same category as guys like Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill and Stephon Diggs, and
As what an All
he's
Pro,
not.
as an All Pro receiver.
As like really incredible hands or really, really fast or runs incredible routes. He's none of those things. He is a, what do we call him? A wide back?
So
So
I
he's
can't
not
enter.
quite a
So I
running
can.
back, and he's not quite a wide receiver. He's kind of in the middle. If you do
So
things where you're running the ball and that kind of stuff, he's great, exceptional. If you have schemes to execute with him, but
so I can't interest you in 18.2 yards per reception. That I can't interest you in that.
for how many games?
I can't interest you in last year. Game started 15, game played 16, and 18.2 yards per season. Or per catch. I can't interest you in that.
You
I
have to
can't
use him just. You have to
1,400
use him.
yards.
You have he's and again, he's overselling himself because you have to use him exactly just right, man. It's like no.
What I mean, just right, like pitching to him out the backfield for
You
only
have to run
averaging
the
six
play. You have to
six
run the
point six point two
plays.
yards a carry.
You know how
Like
football goes, man. This is not hoop.
big
We
dog,
switched topics. This is
big
not
dog.
hoop. He
Listen.
has to be in a
Listen.
situation that the team can use him to his highest and best use.
But you just said you just have to be special with him. Like pitching to him out the backfield, that's not special enough. I mean, that you don't have to be that special. The kid averaged 6.2 yards a carry last season.
Cam, I'm not giving him $30 million, and that's what he wants. So he can go get his $30 million somewhere else.
So you can't use him in the backfield with who DK and
Oh man, you think we haven't kicked this idea around, bantered back and forth in the 206? Of course. But you can't have both of those guys. One of those guys has to go. I mean, if you get Deebo, DK is gone. You have two $30 million receivers and you never throw the ball? No.
DK, you gonna pay DK 30 years? DK, you gonna
Isn't
build
that
a
what the
statue?
market
You
the
gonna build a
market
statue for
has
DK?
established itself as that. It's not whether we want to or not. It's what the market has established itself as.
So DJ, you gonna build a statue for DJ out front? Is that what's
No,
going on here?
not
You
yet.
know,
He hasn't done anything statue worthy to this point.
so what's your thoughts on the USFL? Did you watch any of the USFL games? Huh? I mean, they had a big weekend. Apparently, 3 million people tuned into the USFL this past weekend. You weren't one of them. You and Coco didn't sit down and watch the game.
And she likes football.
Oh, does she? She likes the Dolphins. Talk
Yeah,
to
I'm
us.
gonna leave you hanging on any kind of Dolphin comments.
What about the bird's nest? What's the bird's nest look like this week?
Man, we're all just cautiously optimistic about the number 9. I mean, so many things can go there.
I
So
mean,
many things can go there.
you said earlier you want to see an offensive lineman taking, man. Come on.
I absolutely want to see the most dominant offensive lineman in the draft taken with that pick. If they don't take that and there's a run on offensive lineman and you're just kind of like, okay, well, this is like the 4th best one. No, take the number 1 corner. If it falls like, okay, well.
So you want a corner?
What's that?
You want a corner?
No, I'm just saying the way the draft is supposed to line out, right? All of the defensive linemen will be gone. All of the offensive linemen will be gone. But at number 9, so many weird things happen and so many trades, and people have this feeling or whatever, premonition or whatever. They trade around and that order gets convoluted. So again, I told you last week, I saw a draft where Neil from Alabama falls at number 9. It's like, my God, if that dude falls number 9 and you don't pick him, that's horrible.
So one mock draft, it says Stingley at number 9. I just can't believe you guys are going to go into the season with no quarterback, bro.
No one said that. We didn't say we weren't going to draft a quarterback, and you know how Pete does, man. Compete for it. We don't know who might shake themselves loose, or hey, man, it's not as expensive as we thought it was going to be. Oh, okay. Your guy Baker sitting around, early August, and Cleveland says, "Hey, man, we'll pay that, 70% of that." Okay, yeah, come on in, kid.
Yeah, so you just trying to play the price game with Baker. You really want him, and that's how you got to go.
We don't really want him. I mean, we really want him to come in and see what he's about. But yeah, at the right dollar amount.
The right dollar amount.
Yeah.
You guys are really shady with that, man.
No, we pay the players, man. We pay them what they're worth, what they deserve. We make them all the highest paid at their position. It's been proven.
So let me see what this mock draft Charles Davis has you guys taking. Let me see. Charles Davis has Stingley at number 9. He followed right to you guys. And that's the second one I looked at. Neil, you think Neil's gonna go from 3 to 9? That's what you think is gonna happen?
I'm telling you, I've seen some mock drafts where he falls to 9. I feel like that's completely unrealistic. All of those other 8 general managers should be fired, at least 4 of them, if they don't take him. So if they're fool enough to make that mistake, then yeah, we'll get him. And again,
What's the word on Thibodeau? Is he gonna be is he gonna be uh Deion Jordan?
that's kind of how they're projecting him right now. I don't hear anything other than he doesn't play hard every down. It's a horrible thing to hear from a football player, right?
Yeah, the Jets have two of the top 10 picks. Am I reading this right?
One of them is theirs, one of them is ours. Well, that's funny.
That is,
Why that's so funny?
that's hysterical. Because how could you guys be using the top 10 pick right now? You scrubs. Uh, yeah, my
You
Dolphins don't have a
scrubs.
pick.
Wow. Did you say you scrubs?
Scrubs. Drake London. I'm surprised Drake London is listed as a wide receiver in the NFL. Like he was big and slow in college. The Dolphins don't have a pick, bro. We no pick in the top 20.
Don't say we. Don't say we. When you say we, talk about the Chargers and what they're doing. Don't say we when it comes to what the Dolphins are doing.
Why not, sir? That's my team.
Oh, that's not. Come on, Cam, man. This out here begging in the middle of the street, man, singing in the rain, man. It's getting old. Nobody's buying it.
The Chargers are looking at a tackle in the draft.
Don't say it all like dismissive, man. Like what are your Chargers doing, Cam? Who are they looking at, Cam? When you talk to Staley, what does he say they're doing, Cam?
Actually, I missed a conversation with Telesco yesterday to figure out what was going on.
Wow.
I missed that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see you trying to do it.
Yeah, let's see who. One last pick just to kind of get an idea of where your teams are picking. Just one last mock draft. See who got a good mock draft for us to pay attention to. Peter Schrager, you like him, right? Peter Schrager has you guys taking. Peter Schrager has you guys taking Stingley. Stingley look like that's going to be your guy, man. You better get used to that.
So let me ask a question. In these drafts, is Sauce Gardner already gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Hutchinson. This goes Walker, Hutchinson, Equino, Thibodeau at number 4, Cross number 5, Pritchard number 6, Sauce at number 7, Neal at number 8. So if it came down to Neal at number 8 or Stingley at number 9, would you give up something to get Neal at number 8? Would you give up an extra third round pick? Would you move up for a third round pick to get Neal?
Interesting question. If Sauce is already gone and you can't get the top corner, and are we splitting hairs? I don't know, man. I go back and forth about this, man. I've just seen Sauce on tape. I saw Staley 2 years ago. He looked like elite.
He was playing against Chase in college.
Yeah, shutting him down.
So
shut down all those LSUs. Shut down Jefferson in practice. Everybody.
And he has the lineage. Well, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This draft has the Chargers taking the receiver out of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
If they're taking a receiver, somebody's going to go get squeezed out here pretty soon. We know your guy Williams just got paid. They drafted a receiver last year in Palmer. They have Guyton, who's already a deep threat. If they draft
Cam, I'm talking the hypothetical, man. You right in the trenches right there, man. You in the bed with these cats, man. You give us the insider information, man.
I'm saying somebody gonna get squeezed out, and it's gonna be a surprise who gets squeezed out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, we'll say that then. Okay, that sounds much better.
It's gonna be a surprise who gets squeezed out.
Instead of, over here peeping around at the teal and orange, man. Stick on your side of the coast, man.
No, the Dolphins, man. The
No,
Dolphins were able.
don't be.
Let's go look and see who.
I thought we were talking about the number 9 pick. Are we still talking about the number 9 pick, man? Y'all drifting
You don't
into
know what
La
you
La
don't want.
Land with
You don't know what
with the
you don't
Dolphins,
know.
what they're gonna do, man.
You
Don't
don't know
worry what
what
the
you want to
Dolphins is
do.
gonna do.
You don't know. You don't know what you want to do with the number 9. You don't like
You don't.
Stingley. You don't like Stingley there. So Sauce ain't gonna be there. You don't know what you want to do with that number 9 pick. I mean, it don't sound like you want a lineman. I'm surprised to hear that.
We want a lineman. This pick is so precarious, man.
You want a lineman,
Who
but
wants the pick? Like, who's going to trade the pick? Okay, we'll fall back, but if you fall back and don't get Derek Stingley Jr.
or a lineman,
or a lineman, it's like,
you gonna try to convert one of them defensive tackles again.
so gross, man. If you don't if you don't do one of those, man. Which is, I don't know what they're gonna do, man. No one knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, man. The Dolphins draft. They got one pick in round 3, one pick in round 4, and 2 in round 7. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they better hit hard to have some success in that draft. My goodness.
Hey Cam, are you a fan of the OJs?
The OJs. The old school old school R&B. Yeah. Why you ask?
Okay. I want you to YouTube this song. She used to be my girl.
Cleveland, we're gonna get back into our continued regular scheduled programming. The Voice of the Fan podcast, man. Week 187 of the Voice of the Fan podcast. This week in history, fans. I'm gonna go through our segment each and every week. We do this. April 16th, 1862, Congress passed a bill ending slavery in 2000, or excuse me, in Washington D.C. That was in 1862. 420 Cleveland, 1853. Harriet Tubman started the Underground Railroad. So it's another historical day. 420 is for a different reason. 418. Roots author Alex Haley was awarded the Pulitzer Prize for the book, for the story of the book. April 22nd, 1526 was the first slave revolt occurred in South Carolina. 413, we talked about Reggie Jackson, and we talked about that last week actually. Reggie Jackson being elected into the Hall of Fame.
The straw that stirs the drink.
In 19, what is this? The Golden State Warriors on 416. Golden State Warriors and Sacramento Kings combined for 41 three-pointers in the game. And Golden State's 127 to 123 win to set an NBA record in 4 threes that game. Curry hit 3 games. Buddy Hield with the Kings hit 8, and Justin Jackson hit 4. So they were cashing in threes in that game. 41 threes in that game made. Cleveland, we talk about the CJ Ridley segment. What were your bets that you had last weekend and how they turn out?
Man, Cam, they turned out spectacular. One of the ones that I'm the most proud of is understanding that that Los Angeles Clippers may, not really live up to expectation. And I took the 3.5 points with the New Orleans Pelicans and came out victorious on that one. Actually won a pound of ribs from Red One ribs off of Rainier and Genesee here in the Seattle, Washington area.
Did you?
I sure did. And try to forewarn the person that I was making the wager with. They just didn't want to listen. So, I don't really feel any type of remorse or, a bad way about it because I tried to help the person, but they just were
Oh, you did.
hell bent on just jumping in with both feet. I'm like, hey man, I've done this a few times, man. You might want to hang tight, wait till tomorrow. Like, nah, right now. I'm like, okay, well there it is. You said it. You said it first. I'll match you on it. So yeah, that was my pick. Hmm.
Oh man, that hurts. That hurts. The season is over, folks. The season is over. Um, did you see Crawford and Ugas?
Spence and
Spence
Ugas,
and
I did
Ugas.
not
Excuse
see
me.
them.
Did you
I
see
did not.
Spence
I did
and
not see the fight. I heard
Spence
that it
Ugas?
was very exciting, and that Ugas had a moment where he could have, changed history. Wasn't able to come to fruition on it, but that's okay. He still, hung in there, and I heard that kind of the after fight talk was something about let's get it on with Bud Crawford. Something about those tones, but I didn't actually see the fight. No.
What do you, Okay, so since you're kind of a modest boxing fan, if we can call you that at all,
No, I'm, I'm
um,
I'm an avid boxing fan, but I just need to see fights that are really actually fights adverse just doing kind of exhibitions to fill pockets of other people.
all right. So would Crawford versus Spence get you excited?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
And who do you have in that fight?
Oh, now I got Crawford, man. Spence been ducking him just too long. He's
Whoa,
mad.
you got Crawford beating Spence.
Yeah, you've been ducking him too long, man. It must be a reason been ducking him for 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
You think Crawford was ducking Spence, or you
no, I
think
think
Spence
Spence was ducking
was ducking
Crawford.
Crawford?
Yeah,
Crawford fought he was fighting for ESPN, and Spence fight on Fox with PBC.
yeah, I understand the dynamics. Spence wanted no parts of Crawford.
Whoa! So you didn't see the man's orbital eye hanging out his head on Saturday night.
Oh, I sure did. That was against Ugas. Yeah, it wasn't against Bud.
An older, potentially slower Bud Crawford. You don't think the damage would be
Oh, but he's
minimal?
mad. He's really mad now, though. You made him wait too long.
Interesting. That's an interesting. That's interesting that you say that. Um, what about Tyson Fury versus Dylan White this weekend? Who you got?
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the Mariners minute? What's the Mariners record? I didn't even check that, fans. What's the minute?
Oh yeah, go ahead and check that, Cam, and then get back to me and
Do we
see
need to waste
and
some
see if
time on the
we
Mariners
if
minute?
we need to have a conversation or not.
I mean,
I'll wait.
what are they doing? They happen to be playing the Rangers today. What are they doing against the Rangers? Oh, 0-0. I don't know because they're playing. I can't see their record. What are they doing?
Oh, the record. Oh, hey, thanks, Cam. Thanks so much for asking. They're actually a half a game behind the leader in the American League West,
Always behind somebody. Always behind somebody. They're
and
behind the
they
Yankees.
and they're tied for the third best record in the American League.
Barely above 500. You make it sound so
You
glorious.
you insisted
They're
that we
barely
not have this
above,
conversation unless they were above 500 and doing something. So I'm just saying
and they're barely above 500.
they're doing what the rest of the league is doing.
Oh,
Somebody doing better.
so their league average is what you're saying? You
I
just call them
mean,
league average.
elite or horrible. It depends on how you look at it.
Well, no, well, that's it, Cleveland. We got some more NBA action. We got the Bulls right now taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, a 2-point game. TNT is they're really working this month. Which series is it still most exciting basketball series for you? Is the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, or
No, it's
is it the
Memphis
Grizzlies? It's Grizzlies and
fans.
the Timberwolves
Memphis, Minnesota is
that
must
has
see
overtaken.
TV. because we don't know what's going to happen, and they're going to have to show us. So
And the Suns are going to rout the Pelicans regardless of who's playing. Even though, did you see CJ McCollum and your boy Brandon Ingram go off last night? They can't.
Suns in 6 or 7.
Okay, 6 or 7. I got you. What other series is going to be interesting? Are the are the Sixers going to sweep down the Raptors?
4-1, 4-2. Matisse Thybulle can't come to Toronto, so it's going to be a problem.
Well, does Trey Young game travel to back home? Is he going to get something off, or is it going to be Lou Pepper Williams or Lou Lemon Pepper Wings Williams doing his thing in Atlanta? What's going to happen in this next game?
They'll definitely get game 3. 4, we'll see.
Who's going to win game 3? So it's going to be 3-0 Heat?
No. It'll be 2-1
Oh.
Heat.
Oh, you got the Hawks winning this next game.
Yes.
By what? Is double digits?
I said nothing of the sort. I said they would win the
I'm
game.
listening to you. By how much so? Let me check the points, Red. Maybe we get something going on this one. By how much?
I don't know what the point spread is, Cam. Why would I say anything before I knew what the spread was? I don't make Cam Buford like mistakes, man.
Because you're so clairvoyant.
I might be owing people, pounds of ribs if I was making mistakes like that. I might be out here just exposed.
Oh my goodness. So wait. Heat by 2.5. Heat by 2.5.
Okay, yeah, I will take the 2.5 points. Are you giving me the 2.5 points?
No. No. You just told me
you
that
the
Hawks are
your
going
hand
to win.
on the eye a few too many times, huh? Yeah. Got them burn marks.
You just told me that the Hawks are going to win game 3.
Yeah, I'll take the points.
What point did you tell? What point?
You just said Miami was favored by 2.5 points.
No, it's Heat minus 2.5. I'm taking the Heat.
Yeah, so you're giving me 2.5 points.
No, I'm not giving you that. You just say the Heat.
Perhaps you all operate in an alternate universe where when someone is favored by 2.5 points, you don't give the 2.5 points to the other team. I don't operate in that universe, so please be clear as to what you're saying.
I got the Miami Heat. Excuse me. I have the Miami Heat. You say Atlanta's going to win game 3. I got Miami Heat in game 3.
Okay. And the Miami Heat are favored by 2.5 points, correct?
They are, yeah. They have to be, yeah.
So in that scenario, I will take the underdog, the Atlanta Hawks, and I will take the 2.5 points.
No. And there's no points to be offered, though. And that's what you're misunderstanding.
Man, you're just browbeaten, man. You're just burned, man. You're just singed, man.
What are you talking about? There's no points to be had.
Hey, man, this game's not for everybody, Cam.
Oh, listen to this guy. All right, fans. That's it. We're gonna get to some basketball. Cleveland. I don't know what to tell them, but we got the next 4 to 5 games. That's what you're riding with. Cleveland already said it. Brooklyn's going to win 4 of the next 5 games in that series. We got a lot of serious NBA basketball to enjoy, fans. Until we talk to you next week, though, I'm going to leave you guys with the quote. Don't count the days, Cleveland. Make the days count. That's from the immortal Muhammad Ali. Don't count the days. Make the days count. Mr. Muhammad Ali. Cleveland, thank you for participating in the show. Fans, thank you for tuning in. Sheree, thanks for tuning in. Sonia, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Fans, we'll talk to you guys soon. Cleveland, enjoy your week, bro. Holler at you soon.
All right, fans. I'll let you know if we come through with the Hardy Pound this weekend. Right on.